For our volleyball skills for today, we are going to talk about passing and setting in this video. So passing and setting, again, baseline skills for any beginning volleyball player, or even just to practice a different version of some hand-eye coordination. And it's a great skill for you to continue to have and work on, and just have fun with family and friends as you get older. Great to hit a sand pit, or out on a beach, or in the backyard, and be able to kind of set up a net system, or even a makeshift net system at home to play family games, right? And have fun doing that. So again, there's a variety of different styles, okay? So we have this smaller volleyball style, which could be good for some younger ages, but at the same time, smaller is also a little bit difficult to see, right, with that hand-eye coordination. So if you're someone who is working on those types of beginning level skills, then a larger ball, or even a balloon style is going to be good. So if you have balloons at home, then I suggest you blow up a balloon, which I'm going to have a video later on of taking someone through a progression of skills that you can do with balloons that we've done in class before. But if you have a balloon at home, then I would blow up a balloon and use that, okay, for a variety of these different types of skills that you can do as well. So just a reminder about passing. So we'll start with that. We talked about two different styles of putting your hands together. So what you do not want to do is lace those fingers together, because as that ball, if I miss-hit and I crunch those knuckles and those fingers together, it's going to hurt, or even potentially really seriously hurt my fingers. We also do not cross our thumbs. So again, not only is this going to crunch knuckles together and potentially be injury causing, it's also that if that ball hits off of that top knuckle, I don't have as much control. So what I'm really looking for in passing is that nice platform off of my forearms, which we'll show you. And also very controlled. We want to get that ball in a game-like setting to our setter and not have her or him have to work as hard in order to get to that ball. So our passing, again, do not lace those fingers. You can either choose make a fist and cover it with that other hand, and you're going to put those two thumbs side by side together. There's also a flat hand version where you put both of your flat hands together and you put both of those thumbs together on top like this. Again, there are different philosophies behind each one of those types of things, but the most important thing for you to get out of that is that my hands can come apart and together very nice and quickly and efficiently, and that as I put my hands together, I'm going to point my thumbs towards the ground. I'm going to have my arms lengthened and straightened out, and what I'm basically trying to do with those pointed thumbs is I'm trying to create the flattest platform with my forearms as possible, and this is where I want that ball to make contact. Okay, so again, in passing, my suggestion is one, work with a partner first when we're learning those basic level skills. Then you can kind of do some wall drills by yourself in order to get that. My suggestion is that you start on your knees for passing. So the reason we do that is because it takes out that lower portion of our body so that we can really focus in on what our arms need to be doing, what our hands need to be doing, and what our shoulders need to be doing. So when you are passing, what you do not want to see is a swinging of the arms. Right? We want to be using our body. We want to be controlling the body with kind of that shoulder shrug and a little small push with those arms in order to have that ball come nicely off of our platforms. So again, I would start with my hands apart. My elbows are going to kind of be bent into an L shape like this. I'm going to put those hands together and straighten my arms at the same time. And as that ball is coming towards my platform, I'm just going to kind of shrug my shoulders forwards, straighten out those arms, have that ball come nice off of my platform and back to my target, which would be a tossing partner. All right? So I just want to practice that. So I'm here, that ball comes, and I'm here. I'm here, that ball comes, and I'm here. Again, I am limiting the amount of this action happening. As a tosser, You want to toss, again, we use that word toss as an underhanded type of format. I want to try to be very accurate with that toss, okay? I'm making a nice rainbow arch, okay, with that ball toss. I want that ball to go up in the air and back down, kind of in an arch, right, a rainbow arch, to where it is very nice and on target for my partner who's on their knees, okay? So either have a sibling, you know, or a parent that can help you through this time at home in order to practice some of that. Then, like I said, as you kind of get used to that type of action, then I might be able to take this ball, toss it off of a wall to where it's going to be high enough, maybe just above where my head height is. I'm going to toss this ball off the wall, and as it comes back to me, I'm putting my hands together and I'm doing that nice little shoulder shrug, okay? And I'm popping that ball back off of the wall. This is going to also create the speed with which I have to get my hands apart and my hands back together, right? Because that ball is going to hit the wall and come back. So that's going to be a very nice transition up for you to kind of increase the timing and the speed with which I need to be able to do that, okay? So there's just a couple of drills. Now let's talk about real quick passing from my feet, all right? So passing with my legs and feet in action. I'm going to start with that nice base, right? We call that an athletic stance. My feet are going to be just outside of that shoulder plane. My knees are nice and bent, okay? Weight is transferable, right? I don't want to have the weight in my heels. I don't want to be all the way up on my toes, but I'm nice and balanced. I can move back and forth, and this is kind of my waiting zone. Because I have to be able to move this way, I have to be able to move this way, I have to be able to move forwards and backwards in a game-like setting, okay? Or even just practicing back and forth with a person or off of the wall again, okay? So as my hands are apart and I put them together, I need to be able to bend my knees. I need to be able to have my one foot kind of in front, and I'm going to be guiding that ball. So my legs are bent, I'm going to put my hands together, and as I'm going to kind of turn to the side here. As that ball comes, look, I already have a nice angle with my platform. I'm not going to use my arms to push now. My shoulders still do that shrug, but now I am straightening my legs to really guide that ball where I want it to go. I'm in that nice waiting zone. As my hands come together, I straighten up those arms, and I'm straightening my legs, using my legs, my core, and that guidance with my arms to send the ball where I want it to go. Again, this is a great drill to be able to do with a target place on a wall that has a little bit of height to it so that the ball can kind of hit and come back and allow me and move my feet, all right? So that's just kind of a breakdown of the passing to get started with. On that setting, we've talked about a couple of different things with setting. So in setting, basically I'm creating a little triangle or even a little diamond with my hands, all right? I have light little fingers, okay? And I don't want that ball to come down and exactly sit, all right? I don't want it in my palms. My elbows are not going to be fanned out to the side like this. They're going to be tucked in, okay? And I even told the kiddos, I said, it's kind of like having a 2-liter bottle, right? So my hands have to kind of cup around and make that nice ball kind of shape around. And it's almost as if I were like dumping a 2-liter on my forehead. So I want those hands to come up. And little ones, we talked about moose ears, right? So we had our thumbs kind of on our forehead here. We had moose ears, and then we did super moose as we went on this direction. Okay, you can go, all right? All right, so as that ball comes, I have that nice ball shape. I have those moose ears. I have those elbows in front of me. And as I push that ball, all right, I'm using my body, I'm using those arms and extending, and it's then super moose ears. So there's no of this. We don't flick our wrists. We don't go out to the side like this with our elbows, okay? We don't flick out to the side. Basically, our hands just become an extension of our wrists. Our wrists are nice and firm, and we're pushing that ball off of our forehead and towards our target, all right? So again, I suggest you start on your knees with this one. Have someone that's tossing that ball to you. You're starting in this position here. as that ball comes, it's a kind of like my wrists are going to snap back towards me. I lightly cup that ball, okay? I have nice soft fingers on this part and then firm fingers as I push that ball back out, right? And I end up kind of like with a high 10. So that's a basic thing. There's a little bit more finesse, right, as we get a little bit older and as we get a little bit more towards, trying out for volleyball teams and doing that nature, but that's a basic form of it. So I'm here, I lightly can catch that ball here, and then I'm pushing it back towards that target, okay? So just some things that you can also watch yourself in the mirror. Am I fanning my hands out to the side? Are my elbows like this when I have that ball come off? So just some small fixes that you can make for yourself in case someone's not there with you. This is also a great drill to do off of the wall. I have my target that's kind of nice and high up there. I'm sending it off, I'm sending it off, I'm sending it off, right? And again, start from the knees so that my feet and my footwork don't have to be a part of that. But as we do end up with that, so let's talk about those basics. Again, I want to absorb that ball, okay? Have it here, have those elbows nice and here, make my hands into that nice cup and ball shape. And as I extend, it's my legs that are starting that motion up, okay? I want to have my right foot in front, okay? So we're going to go left, right, and end up pushing that ball back towards my target if I get a little bit of footwork in there. Otherwise, I can just stay right here. Stay right here, stay right here, okay? My 4th and 5th graders, the closer you get to 6th and 7th and 8th grade here, really start to put in that footwork. As that ball is being tossed to you, okay, or as it's coming off of the wall, go left, right, push that ball where it needs to go, okay? Now, tossers. The difference between tossing to a passer and tossing to a setter, okay, in a drill-like format, is that ball now has to go super high in the air, okay? I don't mean ridiculously high to where it's not in control. I just mean that I can't have a ball that's coming at someone's head for a setter, right? That's a passing form because I have my arms kind of underneath my waist, underneath my chest, and underneath my shoulders. Up here, I need everything up high. So that rainbow arch needs to be higher than where my hands are extended, right? So again, when we're working on skills, we really want our person to be successful. We want everyone to be successful. So you really have to make that nice high arch with those tosses, okay? So again, there's just a couple of things that you can start with at home until we can, hopefully get back together and work a little bit more on those skills. But there's a basic breakdown and reminders about passing that we talked about in the fall, and also your setting skills. So you can work with someone to where it's just a tosser, someone sets or passes back. A tosser, someone sets or passes back. Then you can get to the point to where if there's 2 of you kind of working on those skills, or parents, okay, jump in so that your family can potentially, go outside and do some volleyball games and skills and stuff together, is practice setting back and forth, right? So both people are setting at the same time, or both people are passing at the same time. This makes us move a little bit more, get that footwork in there. So to get a little bit better with some of that timing and those skills and such. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a great time practicing these volleyball skills.